right. It's the weekend. I don't normally stream on the weekend, but I need to brush up on some Rust. What's going on, Coobs Voxel? So, I'm not going to be doing the bot stuff today. I want to start kicking off some development work on a Rust component of a thing that I'm building. And I've learned a little bit of Rust, I don't know, maybe like a year ago. And I need to brush up on it. I never did it well enough for it to really be committed to memory, and it's been a few months since I've done any Rust. So we are going to try to learn some Rust today. I've got the Rust programming language book open, and then I've got this project called Rustlings, which a coworker of mine, Ryan Levick, who streams a lot about Rust. If you don't follow him, I'll drop a link in the chat for him. But he showed me this, and it's ridiculously cool. It's like a bunch of little exercises where you have to fix some broken Rust code. And I remember like that's where it really started to connect for me. So I think maybe a good starting point is that I've already got this checked out. So let me know if fonts or anything are off. Okay, so first thing we need to do is do a Rustlings. Wait, I think we need to build it, don't we? There we go. Xanis, what's going on? We need some tunes. It's awfully quiet here. There we go. I'm going to learn some Rust, so you all get to watch me do some Go and not, well, aside from like MDNS and some random things we've struggled with this week, you get to watch me kind of fly through that. Here you'll get to watch me fumble around on some Rust because I don't know it very well. And to be honest, some of the stuff, even when I was doing a little bit of Rust, still didn't make any sense to me, like lifetimes. I never managed to figure out how to, if the compiler complained about a lifetime, I could never figure out how to fix it. Alright, so I thought it did a command, Rustlings. Yeah, alright, so if we do a Rustlings watch. Ooh, okay. We might need this a little bigger. Maybe we should split our screen a little differently. Let's try this. And we're gonna resize this. That better? Maybe? Whoa, that might be a little too far. I'm just thinking maybe because we're gonna need to look at these errors a lot. So let's put it over here. Up. Okay. I still feel like that's not big enough. Okay. Alright, compiling of exercise variables 1 RS failed. Okay, so we're gonna open that up. And then cannot find value X in this scope. Wait a second. That was weird. I'm guessing that was the Rust language server not starting up very quick. Alright. Make me compile. Is this let? Alright, perfect. So every time we kind of get the code compiling, we'll get this sort of, you know, success message. And in order to move on, we have to delete the comment for the I am not done. Okay, our next error. Variables 2. Type annotation needed. Is it I 32 or something? No. Alright, let's see. Rustlings, hint. Oh, wait. It's here? No. I'm trying to remember the syntax of this for the variables. I am super rusty with this. Let's go look at the rest book for variables. X. All right, where's our type? That's mutability. Oh, it goes after the colon. All right, that's my bad. It's let X. Wait. Yeah, it is like with the. I was worried that I was gonna mess that up. So it's let X U32. Right. Use of possibly uninitialized variable. Was it initialized before? No. Right, but what's the error with it saying that it's uninitialized? Or possibly uninitialized. I thought that we could declare it without initializing it. Okay, so we have to initialize it or the compiler yells at us. Gotcha. Wow, I am like super rusty with this. No pun intended. Okay, so variables 3. Can assign twice to a mutable variable X. So I know that we can do let mut X equals 3. Let's see how fast I can get through these. I'm already fumbling on the area that I thought I would fly through. All right, borrowing. Borrow possibly uninitialized variable X. Don't change this line. Wait, this is variables 4. Make me compile. So this would be the same thing. Okay. Mismatched types. Okay, so, oh, we've got a string and we've got an integer type. And what are you wanting us to do? Some of these exercises aren't very clear because there could be a number of ways to solve this. So, I mean, obviously we could make that a string, but is that what it's trying to get us to do? Let's ask it. Rustlings hint. Let's see. That's not 5. Okay, wait. We learned how to make an immutable variable mutable using a special keyword. Unfortunately, this doesn't help as much in this exercise because we want to assign a different type value to an existing variable. Sometimes you may also like to reuse existing variable names because you are just converting values. Fortunately, Rust has a powerful solution to this problem, shadowing. You can read more. Okay, okay. So what it's looking for us to do is basically just redeclare this. And shadow it. Okay. Next. Alright, missing type for const item. Help provide a type for the item. I will say one thing that I do love about the Rust programming language is the compiler errors are so much better. Okay, help provide a type for the item. Oh wait, we're variable 6. And this was, I don't know, I guess we'll make up U32. Hey Brian, we should do like a speed run of of Rustlings sometime. Put on some upbeat music and then just see how fast we can do it. You know, people do like those speed runs of Mario or something. Okay, let's check this out. R7. Right? Oh no, it's if one. I'm already failing. I thought I'd get through the basic variable stuff like that, but you know, I didn't do Rust that long, and it's been a little bit, so it's only natural. I'll start remembering some of these as we get through. All right, complete this function to return the bigger number. Do not use another function call or additional variables. Okay, so we just need a conditional statement that says, I think we do parentheses in language in Rust. Right, we can return B, and then that was easy enough. All right, so this is if2. Let's see, step 1, make me compile. Okay, so our first issue is on line 13. Expected string. Okay, so now we just got to work on failing tests. Oh, do we have the bot on? Alright, the bot is running. Brian, have you been around to see all of the stuff you can do with the bot yet? Alright, get the bar for fuzz and default to Baz tests passing. Fizz if foo. Alright. So you can do a hue and then you can pick a number between like 0 and 65,000. You can do a hue. I've got a couple of them saved, so we can do like an alert, pink, alarm. I'll blink it a bunch of times. We've got some sounds. Oh, is my sounds open? Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to force refresh the bot. Okay. So now we should be able to do sounds. We can say sound, yak. Oh, is it not working? Hold on. Sometimes the sounds, it takes me a bit to get it working. Why are you not working? Why are you not working? I feel like every time we do this, failed to load resource, the server responded with a status of 404. Oh. Okay, so I broke something when I did the media locations. So let's fix that really quick. Actually, we'll do it here. We're going to convert to some Go for a second because I broke my bot. All right. So this media path is broken. We're looking relative to the so if it's not set, media path. Okay. Now we should be working.
This yak is as smooth and pink as it's going to get, sir. Shall we move on?
There are a bunch of them, Brian. I had somebody make these for me, and they are freaking hilarious. Have fun. There's also this one where you can blink these. And then I have one where you can change the OBS scene on me. And then I have one that you can apply filters to the mic. It was working in Windows. It is broken in Linux, and I haven't got it fixed yet. So that's where we're at so far. Okay, let's see. What's going on with our tests? So we panicked at assertion left equal right. Left is 1, right is bar. So... Wait, which test is this? Bar for fuzz. Where's bar for fuzz? Bar for fuzz. Okay, so we need to check to make sure. What is this wanting us to do? Do we want to do a giant if-else statement? I'm guessing. We haven't hit switch yet, so I'm guessing we're going to do like an else if. Else if physish equals. Wait, what was the one we were just doing? Fuzz should be bar. Fuzz. I got weird spacing here. 2 Z's. Alright, this should be bar. Oops. Alright, default to Baz standard out. So, default, literally anything. Okay, so we should be returning Baz here. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for the follow, Scooter. What's going on, Scooter? All right, we're now on to functions. Oops, functions 1. Okay, cannot find function call me in this scope, so it looks like it wants us to just create a function. I'm just gonna go to hints. You need to step up your Twitch game? Why's that? Oh, all the like bot stuff. Oh, trying to get your 50-year-old brain up to date. My 37-year-old brain is struggling on some of this stuff. All right, so it looks like we need to. This is gonna be call me. I'm guessing here on the function stuff. We'll pull up the book if we need to. Oh, all right. That's all we need to do, I guess. So what we're doing right now is there's this cool project called Rustlings. So we've got the book for Rust here. But there's a project called Rustlings, which is like these series of challenges where it kind of gives you some broken code and you're looking at the compiler output and trying to figure out what you need to do to the code to get it to work. And I find like the struggling to figure out why something's not working, I learn better, so this is like right up my alley. Okay, so now we are on to functions 2. And our error says compiling exercise failed, expected one of colon at or. Is this because we didn't give a type? Like something like this? Oh, perfect. It's all coming back to me, Brian. Okay, this function takes 1 argument, but 0 arguments were supplied. In 3. Functions 3. Do you do any Rust, Scooter? What language do you use primarily? Okay. Function takes 1 because we didn't pass, a number. Let's just say 32, or I guess 43 because I can't type. Okay. Functions 4. We need like a Vim plugin to automatically rotate you to the next file so that they're kind of in sync. That would be awesome. Okay, let's see. Expected type. Okay, so if I recall, this like arrow operator is saying this is what the return value is. So let's see. I guess it would be an I32. Okay, expected I32 found. Is this because we're not returning? I thought we could do that though. Brian, are you here? Are you here hanging out? I'm curious about this because in a previous exercise we were able to just put something in quotes and it returned. Like the kind of like how Ruby returns the last statement, but in this case it's not the same. Oh, okay. That makes sense. So I could do it this way too. I was like slightly confused there, like, okay. Looking to learn Python and Rust. Sorry as my cat was sick on my keyboard, so I need... Oh, no problem. No problem at all. Okay. Cannot find calculate apple price. This is in functions 5. Wait. No, quiz 1. Okay, cannot find function calculate apples. Alright. Oh, okay, we need to implement this thing. Mary's buying apples. 1 apple usually costs 2 rust bucks, but if more than 40 at once, each apple only costs $1. Okay, so we need a function. Calculate apple price. And I guess we'll do it. And it's looking for, I'm guessing, an I32 back. Okay. say price. Or let price equal, it's normally $2, right? Do we have a ternary operator in Rust? Can we do like a let price equal like count greater than 40? Does this work in Rust? Does that work? No. I know we can do it with like an if statement, but does Rust have a ternary? I guess not. Alright, we'll do it long form. So we can just say let price. I guess we don't really need to do that. Price is going to be $2. If the count is greater than 40, price is going to be $1. Was it greater than or greater than equal? More than 40 at once, each app only costs $1. Okay. And then we can do a count times price. No parentheses. Cannot assign, because that needs to be mutable. Can skip a key at random times, so coding on this is a pain. And oh wow, yeah, that would be a pain. All right, now we're gonna do primitive types, right? Types 1. Fill in the rest of the line that has code missing, no hints, there's no tricks, just get used to typing these. If expected identifier found keyword on line 16. I mean, I guess we would say okay, let's see. Expected identifier on, wait, on line 22. Oh, 22. Finish this line like the example. What's your favorite character? I don't know. We'll say let your character equal E. I don't know. I'm just waiting till we run up on all of this stuff with lifetimes. All right, we want primitives 3, line 8. All right, create an array with at least 100 elements in it where the question is. All right, I don't know how to create an array, so let's go look at that in, well, at least I don't remember how to create an array. So we're gonna use the Rust book. It's a tuple. Okay. That's the syntax I was looking for. So this is saying we have an array of int 32s. And I guess we wouldn't have to supply that. I want to just test this really quick. Let's just stop and test our knowledge. Okay, so we said let A equal, would the compiler just infer all of the rest of this for us? Okay, so this would have worked both ways. So this one, the compiler is inferring the size and the type from the right-hand side. This one, we are explicitly defining the type and the size. Okay. And let's see how much of this I actually remember when we try to write stuff. Prim 4. Okay, expected expression, found question. All right. Get a slice out of an array where the... Does it just work like every other language with slicing? So we would start at index 1, and I'm guessing we would... It's the length. Expected type. Any ideas of a good keyboard? This is a Corsair, something cherry, silent. Don't need the red, green, blue. I so wish they would stop that someday. Right now, I use one of these. Well, I guess... There we go. The bot. Somebody made me add this. So the first one is what I'm typing on currently, and then I ordered one of the Moonlanders, which is like on back order or something, so it won't be here till October or November. Okay, so that is clearly not how we slice things. That's iterating. Oh, we do a dot for that. Okay, so this works similar to Go's, except rather than in Rust it looks like there's a dot, but in Go it's the colon. But we can leave out. Okay. So in Go, this is what we're trying to do would look like. So here we're just going to use a dot instead. Ooh. Let's see. Consider borrow here. Oh, right, because we want a reference. Our So we started. Oh, because we want like length -1. So I suppose we could say 4 here, and that would get us what we want. Or we could do a length -1. Yeah, the Moonlander I am like ridiculously excited about. Brian Kettleson here in the channel is the one who pointed me to it, and then I couldn't stop thinking about it, and then I bought it. Okay, let's see. Next, we're on to primitive 5. Yeah, I did. I beat him to it. He's like, I keep debating on buying this thing, and I'm like, it's fantastic. I bought one. Yeah, it looks really, really adjustable in just a number of ways, and I don't know why I don't feel like I ever had this problem before, but especially using like i3 and Vim and things like that, I tend to stick on home row and my fingers just feel really, really crowded and I end up hitting the wrong keys, and it's just, the older I get, it's harder on me. So I think being able to break that apart, sit my hands at a comfortable distance. I'm probably gonna have to relearn to type, but... Alright, expected pattern. What is this? Destructure the cat tuple so that the print line will work. Oh, okay. So we're gonna do... Is it age? This? No. Do we destructure it like this? Ah, alright. To the book. I know I remember doing this, I just can't remember. Destructuring. Okay. So this is our point. Okay. That's the other way. We want individual values for that stuff, though. This code creates the variables a and b that match the values x and y. Oh, okay, so we actually have to, like, jump into it. So we actually have to say cat. No, hold on. Let's go look up the tuple. Okay, so this is just showing us how to create a tuple, and that is not what we want. We want to... Let's go look at the destructuring again. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding the syntax for that. Oh, you feel the same way about, like, your hands close together? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's true too. I don't remember having that issue a lot when I was younger, but I mean, it's... it's parentheses. That's what I was looking for. I'm mixing up when you destructure a struct versus a tuple. Not a tuple, structure. What? Oh, oops. Alright, next on the list. Primitives 5. Or 6. Does anybody here do Rust? I'm curious. Are we all learning together? And please let me know if I'm moving through some of these fast, if you're also trying to learn along the way, and we can stop and kind of, you know, break down some of these things on how they work. You got into it very recently? I did some stuff for work in Rust, and then I took a couple months off, and then I did a couple things in Rust, and then took a couple months off. So I just haven't done it long enough for it to really be committed to memory. But my next project is going to be a lot of Rust, so hopefully it will sink in. Aside from lifetimes, I feel like that's going to take a lifetime. Okay. Expected expression found question mark. The second number is use a tuple index. Oh, okay. This is easy. So we're just going to do numbers. We want the second one, so that's this one. For me, a good keyboard is like getting a good bed for spend most of your time on one of those. Yeah, I think that being comfortable in your work environment is ridiculously important. We spend so much of our time, you know, in front of computers and typing on keyboards and stuff. Structs 1. Address all the to-dos. To-do. Something goes here. So this is a... So this is a tuple struct. What's it expecting us to have? Okay, so... So here we need a name and a hex for that type. And I don't remember offhand. Okay, so this is pretty basic stuff. It's very similar to GoTo, so that's pretty intuitive. So we need a, what was it, color? No, it's str. And then we need a hex, which is also an str. Unused import super. We have a lot of errors. Green not found.
Yeah, it's super creative.
And there's Rocker Boo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rocker Boo, you're going to have to help me. I am a lot more rusty with Rust than I even anticipated. Okay, oh, okay, so we didn't define it here. So we created that struct type. So we're just going through the Rustlings exercises as like a way to kind of refresh my memory. Okay, so this is going to be a color struct, right? Color classic struct. Rusty with Rust. Name is green. X is... Now we've got some stuff going on with the bot. Yeah, I broke the sound though. It's fixed. Okay, help add colon. Oh, oops. I love that the Rust compiler will yell at you and tell you, like, it'll try and help you. Okay, so now we've got the tuple. And so in here, it looks like we just need str. And then we can say green. Maybe we should rewrite the entire bot in Rust. What do you think, Rocker Boo? Okay, what do we got going on here now? Cannot find value unit struct. Similarly named constants. Was there another one in here? Hold on, let's remove these to-dos. That works. That works. Unit structs. Instantiate a unit struct. What exactly is a unit struct? I should give everybody a warning when I go to change the browser just because of how bright it is. Unit-like structs without any fields. You can also define structs that don't have any fields. These are called unit structs because they behave similarly to the unit type. Unit-like structs can be useful in situations in which you need to implement a trait on some type but don't have any data that you want to store in the type itself. This isn't exactly... This isn't exactly telling us what those look like. So this is just ownership of struct data, but that's the end of it. So let's see if Rustlings has a hint for us. Wait, which exercise are we on? Structs. Is this Structs 1? Yeah, we're still on Structs 1. Alright, so Rustlings. Hint. Structs 1. Oh, yeah, we were in the Structs section of the book. We did all this without named fields. Is that all it's asking us to do? No. So this is the section we're talking about. Alright, I am super confused now. Ooh, we can set a theme? There we go. Now it won't be so harsh. I always hate that I feel like I'm shining a flashlight in people's eyes every time I switch from my dark terminals to a browser. Alright, we're gonna have to just like noodle around here because I'm not sure exactly what it's wanting us to do here. A unit struct. You don't all work in dungeons? It's actually not nearly as dark in here as it looks on camera. Okay. Thank you so much for the follow, Calishare. Okay, let's see. Let's see how long the color stays this way, Rocker Boo. You know, as soon as Dr. Doombenberg shows up, it turns pink on me. I think I do. Because I installed, yeah, the Rust LSP should be set up. No, it's not. Alright, let's see. Let's go check that out really quick. NVIM, I think I have this under settings, completion. I've got, oh. Let's see, TSS. Yeah, I don't see Rust in here, interesting. I have it in my Vim file. Is it just that we don't have Rust Analyzer installed? I believe it's a package we can just install. Yeah. And that's installed. Yeah, so Rust Analyzer is installed, and the Lua LSP seems to be set up to work for it, but I'm not getting any completions, right? These are just snippets. So for some reason my LSP is not working for this, because I also can't get hints on these. That's probably going to yell at me that it doesn't know how to install it. Ooh, what is all that? NVIM LSP Rust Analyzer not found. Wait a second. What are we talking about? Let me open up my completion file. All the other ones are nvim underscore. I swore I borrowed this from somewhere. So Brian, the issue isn't that Rust Analyzer isn't installed. It's just that my NVIM built-in language server protocol is not loading it for whatever reason. But all of these other ones work for nvim underscore. Yeah, I'm not sure. I have to dig into that. Yeah, the naming looks like it should work, so I'm not really sure. And now I'm curious here if we just do like... This feels like this is a tuple though, doesn't it? No. Yep, we are trying to learn some Rust. Well, at least I am. Let here. Oh. And then line 7 doesn't have a size known. Can we not use that there? So Rustlings is this cool like project that you can download, and it's a series of exercises where the code already exists, but there's something broken with it. And so we run this command Rustlings watch, which I have running over here, which basically just keeps running the compiler and failing on whatever the next broken thing is. And then we just make our way through trying to fix each one of these things, and we learn Rust along the way. So right now I am working on just trying to refresh my memory with some Rust and maybe get better at things I forgot. And so that's sort of what I'm playing with today. But possibly tomorrow, definitely next week, I'm going to be working on doing some stuff using Rust and GStreamer to do video streaming, where we can hopefully get some like RTMP feeds coming in and switch between them to a single output and stuff. I have read the Rust book. That was probably, I don't know, 9 months ago or something like that. So I sort of learned a bunch of this stuff to begin with. And then I haven't done it, and I didn't do it long enough for it to really be committed to memory, and then I've been away for a couple of months, so I sort of forget things. So this doesn't have a size, so does that mean that we need to change this to, is it this version of string? Or are we changing it to a pointer to string? Let's see. What's going on, Dr. Dumenberg? Okay, so same thing. We need to change these to the actual string type. I still screw these up all of the time, or did anyway. Uh-oh. Color Classic Struct does not have this field. Oh. Name. Oh, I can use and string too? Okay. That probably feels like the better option for this. The bot project's going pretty good. A lot of the stuff is here. Everybody here can kind of show off the stuff that's working. When I moved back to Linux, I broke the voice changer thing. I still have to work on getting that going again, but it's coming along quite well. It's super modular. People can reuse it. Everybody here is acquiring points for everything that they say. Yeah, lifetimes. Oh, I still struggle with that. Moonlander keyboard looks good, just fat in the UK. It's going to, yeah. The price of the Moonlander already stings. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm going back to, I'm going to go back to, to this. Just so that I don't have to mess with lifetimes right now. Because I remember even after I was writing Rust, I was struggling hard with lifetimes. Alright, let's see. Mismatched types. I think... Are we supposed to do this, though? I don't think we're supposed to do that. Oh, the compiler gave me the answer? Yeah, because I don't want to modify this code, because it feels like that's what was supposed to be left alone. Alright. Let's go back to this, and I will embrace the pain of figuring out lifetimes. All right, let's see what this says. Expected name lifetime. Consider introducing. Oh, right. So it would be. Oops. Undeclared lifetime. What am I missing? Isn't that what it suggested us to use? Oops. Oh, right. It needs to be on the type. Wait, oh no, that's the tuple one. Or tuple. Alright, so this one, there's where we introduce the lifetime. We're going to say this is using that lifetime. This is using that lifetime. Okay. So now we just have to do it for here. So same thing. You're also going to use that. I know this is how we solve it. I still don't 100% understand why that's the case, but all right, so we do have a failure, and that is in our unit struct. So yeah, so I think we got the lifetime issue sorted. So now we need to figure out what's going on with this. Right, yeah. Yeah, and I definitely understand the premise of lifetimes. Sometimes, like, this is a more simplified use case of lifetimes, but I remember in other things that I was building where I had sort of things being passed around where I never could get the lifetimes to line up on things. and maybe we can get to some of that stuff, and then everybody here can make me much smarter with lifetimes. Okay, so this is wanting our message to be unit structs are fun. And what did we get? So that's not at all what it's asking for. Because that's a tuple. And we can't just give it a... So it wants us... Because, I mean, we could do... I don't... Is there a unit struct at the top, though? So we've got a... Oh. So this would be what? Unit struct? Yep. Okay. Alright. Ooh, this one has a lot. Structs too. No field name on type function. What are we talking about? Line 38. I guess we could just look for to-dos first. Create your own order using the update syntax and template. Okay, so then we would just have... I really wish that was working. I don't understand why the Rust Analyzer isn't working here in this LSB thing. The tab completion would be really freaking nice right now. Alright, name. Hacker in Rust. Oops. Order template. Oh, wait a second. So this has this original order. So we're just updating the fields then. So we would just have order template dot name equal hacker in Rust. Expected struct found string. Expected struct. Why are you expecting a struct? We're just updating the one property on there. No field name on type function. So is this not returning?
Catastrophic failure detected. Evacuation protocol has been initiated. Abandoned ship. SOS. Abandoned ship.
Yeah, so I'm gonna back up for just a second here. And let's see what the original compiler error looks like. But it looks like this order template saying no field name on type function. So it thinks that your order is function your order dot name. Oh, because we're shadowing that. All Alright, so here we're going to get a borrow error. Right, yeah. So it was just like confusing me here. So I didn't notice that line. So now that we shadowed it, we're good. What's going on, Proots? Okay, so now move occurs because order template has type order, which does not implement the copy trait. So there should be like a to owned, right? I feel like we're not supposed to be getting here though. I think I'm missing the update syntax. Let's look at the hints and see what Rustlings says. Rustlings hint structs 2. Okay. Creating instances of structs is easy. All you need to do is assign some values. There's, however, some shortcuts that can be taken when instantiating structs. Creating instances using update syntax. Okay. Oops, that opened completely in the wrong spot. So let's go to the section of the Rust book. Right. It's like the things you remember later. Okay, so what we really want to do here is we're going to create our own order. We're going to set our name here to hacker in Rust. And then we are going to take everything else from the order template. Help remove this comma. Bad habits from Go. Go has you put a comma in all of them, even when it's the last. Expected struct. Standard string. Okay, so here we need to do toString, right? Oh, we're missing something. Oh, count 1. You can place on all of them. What are we talking about? Yeah, so Rust does interoperate with C++ really well, and I think that's one of the reasons people like it, is that you can have part of your project written in Rust and part of it written in C or C++, which is actually the reason why I'm going to be using Rust for the next project that I'm working on, because I want to interoperate with some packages that are written in C and C++, and using things like Go to call out to those is really expensive. So you end up writing a lot of your logic in C or C++ and then making like less calls out. All right, what do we got going on here? Oh, we need structs 3. Structs 3. Structs contain more than simply some data. They can also have logics. Exercise, we have defined the package struct, and we want to test some. Okay. We want to test some logic attached to it, make the code compile, and the tests pass. Okay. Something goes here. So first issue is online 28. Is international. I'm guessing this is a bool that needs to be returned. And I'm guessing this is going to be an I-32. Does it comply with C calling conventions? Like, can you call Rust functions from FFIs in other languages intended to work with C? So that's a little bit outside the scope of my knowledge, but from my understanding, yes. The calling conventions are the same. So C and C++ apps and Rust. Oh, wait, maybe AOD here knows better than me. Oh, okay. Wrote some Python last night, and the Python LSP is really trashy for some reason. Huh. So AOD, you can't just, the calling conventions aren't the same. You can't just use FFI to go back and forth. Okay, so now it looks like line 65 cents per kilogram. I think we're gonna have to fix all of these. Wait. I don't know. Let's make up a number. We're gonna put this as 0 for now. Line 17. Mismatched or expected struck package. Oh, because of the return. So I think we're gonna have to look at our tests here. Fail creating waitlist package. So it doesn't look like it tells us what it's supposed to do if it's a waitlist package. So I'm guessing we're just going to return back. Can we just return back a package with empty values? Does that work? Okay, so that doesn't work. So this one I do have a question about. All right, let's see. You can mark functions as extern. Do you think it makes sense for a working developer to learn Rust in the day and age? Okay, you have to use FFI and mark functions that you want to be able to call from C as such, because Rust does name mangling by default. Now, AOD, though, there is a zero cost kind of to call between Rust and C++, from my understanding, though. It doesn't have like the overhead of something like Go calling into C. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure what this is asking for. I'm just gonna get a hint here. Because I feel like there's something interesting it wants us to do with that return. Okay, it wants us to panic. That's what I thought. It's not wanting us to return like a default. So how do we panic in Rust? Oh, it's a macro. Exclamation point. Panic. Cannot create waitlist package. Unreachable expression. Oh, I don't know. Leftover. We don't want to return. Okay, mismatched types. Line 28. So I guessed wrong. Is international. Oh. So we need to sender country, recipient country. Okay. So in here we want to say if self.sender country is not equal to recipient country, we're going to return true. Whoa. Vim just like locked up on me here. This has to do something with that, the LSP. Are you going to recover? Completion. I'm gonna remove this. So this, what happens in Go if I call a C function? There's overhead with a bunch of copying that takes place. I forget the internal details of it. I stopped doing CGO when I realized just how expensive it was. All right, we're gonna have to like kill all NVIM now. Wait, what did I mess up there? Oh, because this is in the Lua function. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's the only thing I can think of that would have locked it all up. What's going on, Tear Gassy? Yeah, Rocker Boo, that's very true too with Seago. Like, one side or the other kind of has to own the memory. Okay, line 28. Oh, we lost all that code. So it was if self dot sender country is not equal to self dot recipient country. And we're going to return true. That is international. And what's the, I mean, it seems like a lot of you here have a lot of Rust experience. Is it more idiomatic to do that or this? Which one of these is the way that you will see more commonly? What do you mean, Tear Gassy? You have no clue what's going on? Okay, so that's the more idiomatic way to do it. So it's kind of Ruby-like. And then here would be false. Oh, you don't know any languages? Just watching? Hey, there's only one way to learn. Just watch a lot of stuff, you know, play with a lot of stuff. You can just write the if condition. Oh, you're talking about this? Oops. Okay, yeah. That's a lot cleaner. Okay, so now we need to get the fees. Let's look at the test to figure out what the fees are supposed to be. Okay, so we made up our own fees. Wait. Get the fees, cents per kilogram, 4,500. No, so we need to figure out the math ourselves. Alright, so this is 1,500 as its weight. So this isn't a program. So this is sort of like little programming exercise challenges written in Rust. So the last number of streams I've been working on a bot that controls all of the colored lights and sound effects and things like that that I have going on in the channel. So if you want to look at some of the VODs, you can see me kind of working on that stuff. Today, I'm just sort of like trying to brush up on the Rust programming language. So I'm just running through these like programming challenge things. Thanks for the follow, Tier Gassy. Okay, so this looks like the cents per kilogram because this is 1500. So this is 3 times that. So wouldn't that be cents per kilogram would be 3, right? And then we could just return self dot, what's the name of it? Weight in grams. Wait. Weight in grams divided by 1000 gets us our kilograms. And then we're going to multiply that by our cents per kilogram. And I think that our logic there is going to be off because it needs to be 300, right? Where did we go wrong? Weight in grams, but get fees. Why is that returning back 3? Cents per kilogram should be because the weight is in grams. So in order to get it in kilograms, we divide by 1000. So that part would have been right. And then we would multiply by this. So that logic is right. So this can't be right. Right? All right, we went wrong somewhere. That should be right. So this is 1500. Why is that always returning back cents per kilogram? That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. So 1500 grams is 1.5 kilograms, right? And 1.5, I'm gonna do math on a calculator here because times 300, that would be 3,000 cents per kilogram. But we're still wrong here because it's not doing the multiplication. Whoa, I hit the wrong button there. Okay. Is everybody awake now? Okay, so where did we go wrong? Yeah, I hit entirely the wrong button. So this can't be returning what I think it is. So weight in kilograms, it said 1500 divided by 1000 should be 1.5. So I just want to double check this logic. This is going to be one of those like silly mistakes that, so that's 1. and not 1.5. All right, cheer guys. See you. Catch you later. All right, so we need to cast this, I guess. Let's catch the hints and see what this says about it. Yeah, so it's not giving us a hint there. Is this just naming is wrong? Like why are we storing it in grams? I mean, because we can make this pass, right? If we just change that, but I'm trying to figure out why it has us doing that, right? Is this just them typing up their own... Oops, I needed to remove 2 zeros. So... so no, it had us implement this. It wanted us to put this number here. But my issue here is we've got to look at like... We want this to be divided by 1000 because based on their names of their variables, right? That's what we want. But can we get this to be a float? I just feel like it's trying to... Use a keyword. What do you mean? Because what we really want to do is cast these. But it's so weird because what it wants us to focus on here is the functions. I don't feel like that's what it was wanting us to do here. It's... Because everything about this entire exercise is about struct methods. So I don't feel like it was trying to get us to casting and things. I'm doing typecasting wrong. I didn't even see anything in the book for typecasting. Is value as type. I get what you're saying, AOD. I'm just curious what the like, is that in the function parameters? Oh, okay, it's an actual, you define a new one. So we would say let kg equal self dot weight in grams divided by 1000. Or no, as and then here we could change to here and say kilograms. Oops. You think version 1 of the book is better? Help a local. Oops. And we're probably gonna have to cast this too. No implementation for F32. Oh, you know what? We didn't even need to do any of this. This is just math. We were doing self dot weight dot or weight in grams divided by 1000 to get the kilograms. Well, we could also do cents per kilogram times 1000 and we get the same freaking number. And now we can go back down here and fix this. Wait a second. Do we need to multiply at all? Yeah, we don't. This has to just be a naming thing. Where they're mismatched, but where they really mean is grams. Well, that was a lot of time spent on something that wasn't needed. Okay, now let's play with strings. I am way rustier at this than I thought I was going to be. Expected standard string because of return type. Okay, so. Okay, in line 9. Try not changing this line, okay. And expected found struct standard string, so this should be a 2str, right? There's an associated function with a similar name as str. I thought there was a 2str. When I stop being rusty, will I even be doing this? I hope to keep doing some Rust. I've got a bunch of hardware stuff over there I'd really like to start doing in Rust instead of everything else. Quiz 2. Oh, right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, AOD. Do I have any screens? What do you mean? Okay. Cannot infer type for type parameter T declared on the trait into. Ooh, we're going to get into traits. Okay, here's a bunch of values. Some is strings, some is str's. Task is to call one of these two functions on each value depending on what you think each value is. That is, add either string slice or string before the parentheses on each line. If you're right, it will compile. Okay. Rocker Boo, what do you mean by do I have any screens? So wait, what were our options? We were gonna call string slice or string slice. Wait a second. No, line 24 is the first one failing. Into. Oh, you mean like small screens for the embedded stuff? Yeah, I've got a number of like LCDs and things like that. I'd be interested to see like what kind of libraries are out there for like the DMA and things like that for it. I feel like that's going to be the more difficult part about doing embedded stuff in Rust is having to implement drivers for all of the parts and stuff that you order. Oh, okay. So is this is just us supplying this here. So this is going to be string slice, right? Cannot infer type for type parameter T. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be doing. Is that just because we're going to do this? Is that why it's not? Okay. So this should be a string. This should be a string. This should be a string slice. No, mismatched types. Format returns, I think, a string, right? Does Vulkan cover native drivers on those devices, or is that too new to be widely adopted? I don't know what Vulkan is. What is Vulkan? Okay, so this is constructing a pointer to a string struct, but then slicing it. So I'm going to guess that this returns back an str. Trim, I'm guessing that's also going to return back a string slice. No. Okay, that returns back a string struct. Okay, so this is an str. Gets converted to a string. We run a replacement, so I'm going to say that it is a string. Huh. So this is kind of interesting to me. If we call trim on an str, we get back a string struct. But if we take a string struct and then run a replace on it, we get back an str. Oh, wait, wrong line. Oh, wait, so this is string slice. Okay, so it worked exactly the way I thought it was. I was like really confused. I'm like, why would they hand back alternates? All right, and then two lowercase. Does this hand back a string slice? Oh, okay. So that's a string. It's how you're running DirectX games on Linux by converting the calls to Vulkan. Interesting. All right. We made it through the quiz. Are you all ashamed at my level of Rust knowledge yet? This is It's funny because I've actually written stuff in Rust. I'm like little stuff I forget now. Not enough room in my brain. Stuff gets pushed out, I guess. Okay, so we need to do enums. So we're looking for a variant here. And so this would be quit. And there's a type associated with it. I know that. That was one of the really cool things I liked about Rust was that you could do that. Let's just look that up. Enums. Yeah, it's kind of fun. So a lot of the people who have been following me regularly on my stream have got to see me do a bunch of Go stuff and be pretty good at it and teach people how to do stuff. So I always find it fun where you show nobody's good at everything. I'm good at Go because I've been doing it for a lot of years. Rust, I'm as new as anybody else trying to learn it. Okay, so this was right. All right, so if we don't need to associate a type with it, then we can just apply its name. And then I do remember that we could set right. Okay, so in parentheses if we wanted to have a type. Okay, so in this particular case, quit can be that. Echo, move, change color. And this is going to be the next one. Enums2, enum2. Okay, so quit is just a variant. Echo looks like it needs to be a string. Change color looks like it's going to be a tuple. Right? So I32, I32, I32. Is that it? Oh, and move. Move looks like it's going to be a struct. But I don't see a type here for that. Oh, we just supplied the parameters here. So X, I32, right? Y, I32. Ooh. Help a struct with a similar name exists. Notice. Oops. Line 7. Variant or associated item change. Oops. Color. Okay. Enums 3. Moving on. Has everybody here done Rustlings before? I'm really curious, especially like AOD and Rockerboo and a couple of the people I know here that are doing a lot more Rust than me. I'm just kind of curious where you learned it from. Just doing the Rust book and building stuff, or... I felt like Rustlings, because I know I've been through it before, I felt like that might be a good way to just kind of brush up on things that like I learned and I just sort of forgot. I saw a question here about Mozilla. Who asked? Somebody asked if Rust was still part of Mozilla. Quinn. I believe that they announced that they're working on a foundation. I just did Rust and looked at the book when I got stuck, yeah. Yeah, I've got it's downstairs. I've got the Rust book. There's the online version of it. I've read through it once before. I didn't know whether I would really need to run through the whole book again because I've done it and I've written some Rust code. I felt like this would be kind of a fun way to challenge myself into how much do I actually remember. There you go. Rockerboo just dropped the knowledge. Okay, no variant or associated item name change color found for enum message. Okay, so So this is still the same thing. Okay, so we just need to implement the things that we did last time. We had a quit variant, then we had a change color, which was a tuple. I guess we can just create them in order. Then we have a supplied. Oh. It looks like. I read the whole book, but I forgot most of it. I think the best way to learn is just program stuff. Yeah, totally agreed. Totally agreed. That's why I figured like these little challenges would be fun for me to go through for a couple of hours today. And then tomorrow I'm just going to start working on the project. And that one I'm going to flail around like crazy because I'm not so great at Rust and I haven't really done a ton with GStreamer. So it'll be a fun learning experience. I'm going to come out the other side really excited about everything I learned though. Yeah, the Rustlings thing I think is really, really cool because it's like that nice in-between, like just reading something and then trying to build a full-fledged project. It's like, here's this little taste of something, it's broken, fix it. All right, so we need our echo, which was a string. Help a struct with a similar name. How do I keep doing that lowercase? Okay, variant or such a move item. Okay, so we need move. And that was a struct, and we had x, I32, y, I32. A built-in, Did you mean message move? Oh, it's... They tripped us up here. This is actually supposed to be a point. Okay. Yeah, exactly, AOD. It's like the last time they had us do that. You're gonna give this wire I connected to run a run for its money. Time to test if that did anything for me. You have a fantastic stream. All right, check you later, Dr. Doomenberg. I don't know what the wire you're talking about is, but good luck. Okay, so we just have a test failure now. So oh, and then make the test pass. Okay, so it was meant to fail. I thought I screwed something up. So our failure is in test match message call, and it looks like the tuple. Assert color. So that just looks like we need to fix this, right? 250, 255, 255. Bought a really expensive NIC and router only to discover wireless inherently sucks. Yeah, I redid my whole setup here, and it's crazy. I've got like a whole Unify setup. I love the Dream Machine, but like the access points, they don't get the distance I expected them to. You know, when I try and add an extra access point, they conflict, and I just haven't messed with them long enough to get everything perfectly working. And I get it, right? Those access points are more to support like lots of concurrent users, more so than like speed and distance. All right, so this is 10 and 0. Line 62, position X. Oops. I keep getting like just an inch off of my keyboard and typing the completely wrong character. All right, so we need 10 here. And then I'm guessing that's Y. It's supposed to be 15. And that's going to be true. Oh, we're on to tests. All right. Tests 1. I had the old security gateway, so I actually have the Dream Machine Pro. Like this gigantic beast of a thing. Because I couldn't turn on the fire on the security gateway. I think it was 35 megs I was capped at if I wanted the all the IDS IPS stuff turned on. And I wanted all of that turned on, and I have a 1 gig connection, and I wanted to keep my 1 gig. So there is a smaller Dream Machine. The normal one, it looks, you know, like the okay, missing tokens in macro argument. You can assert equal. I'm guessing this is just, we need to give it 2 values here. Okay. Boolean expression required. Is true when even. Wait a second. What do you want from us? Make it, wait, this test isn't testing our function. Make it do that in such a way that the test passes. Then write a second test to test whether we get the result we expect when we call is even 5. Oh, okay, okay. So we're gonna do is even to true. And then is false when odd. Ooh, we failed. Panicked at box any? Oh wait, oh it's just because our tests are failed. Is even. But that shouldn't be true. There it is. I was waiting for that, Dr. Doomenberg. Is false on okay, I'm confused here. Because this logic here should be right. Right? So that should return back false. What is your issue? Because if we change this to 5, that should fail. Right?
It appears that we've detected another Heisenberg, sir. Or rather, we haven't.
So if I... So weird. No. So this one is just always failing. Why? Why are you always failing? Because this is definitely going to return back a Boolean value. And so it should compare it to this. But it fails even if we do this. Why? Panicked at box any. Alright, I am really confused about this one. So this doesn't look like an issue with our own comparison. This looks like some sort of issue with the test itself. So this will pass. But what I'm curious about now is if we move this up here, is it the second one that fails? No. It's always the is false when odd. It's false when odd. Same exact test. Passes. Okay. This should fail. Okay. Does exactly what we want. Wow, what is... I don't understand what this is. Tests 3. Oh, because this second parameter isn't actually doing anything. That's not, we didn't do an assert equal. It's just an assert. So there's that. And we actually, we're looking at the value because the second parameter was meaningless. Ah. Wasn't paying attention. All right, next quiz. Quiz 3. All right. This quiz isn't testing our function. Make it do that in such a way that the tests pass. Then write a second test to test that we get the result we expect to get when we call times 2 with a negative number. No hints. You can do this. Okay. Assert equal times 2, 4. Should be 8, right? Oops. Alright, returns twice of negative numbers. So, assert equal times 2. We're going to give it negative 4. And this is going to be, right? You rainbow. So we could do that. We could do that. So there's 6 lights in the ceiling. There's a couple in this fan that you can't really see that's like right out of camera view. And some things we can control each light individually, and they're also grouped by like the desk and over here. I just haven't added enough commands to the bot to allow people to change individual things, but that is on the feature list. Okay, let's see. Make sausage. It's... Oh, this is it pub? Mod pub? Or pub mod? No. Pub mod. Right? Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's a matter of, you know, Like when I first started the stream, I had, you know, we can come over here. Thanks for the follow, Watermelons. So we can go back here to that desk back there, and I don't know, give it like a different theme all on its own, and we can come over here to this desk, and I don't know, we'll go with Dr. Dumenberg's pink or something. So, but we can do upper and lower and all of those things in all different colors. So I just need to be able to do the bot. And I mean, we could totally do that today too. All of the guts are there to be able to do that. So if Eric would open the source up, we could do it without Eric messing it up. You're talking about the bot, Rocker Boo? The bot is opened up. I mean, aside from the thing that I broke earlier that I do need to commit the change to, but the bot's there. It's just not really well documented right now. Yeah, and anybody who wants to kind of document anything there and push pull requests would be greatly, greatly appreciated. All right, modules 2. Yeah, I wanted to open source it because that's one of the things, like you go to people's channels and they have cool stuff going on with their bots and they're all closed source and or just highly coupled to their stream. And I don't like that, you know. If the bot is the only reason you come to this channel, then you should like not come to this channel. Like, don't hoard the knowledge. Here's the bot, have it for free. Can I put my config somewhere? Yeah, I'll do that this afternoon. That's one of the things I want to do is upload an example config. I'll put like an example directory or something like that with configs in it. All right. Yeah, and if anybody wants to build a front end for building that config too, that's a cool thing that's on the list because those configs are starting to get huge. All right, let's see. Private constant import. Yeah, I'll probably just put my current running config in there as an example. All right, private constant. Delicious snacks, fruit. Import fruit is private. On line 24. What are we trying to get access to? Delicious snacks, fruit. Is it here? No, that's not what I was looking at. Wait a second, that's individual. Oh, as fruit. Alright, so that's not what we wanted. So this is it pub use? Okay, yeah. Got a little ahead of myself on what it was wanting me to do. Ooh, and here we go, macros. Cucumbers are fruits though, and so are tomatoes. Here, actually, we can detour here for a second, Rocker Boo. Oh, what did I do in here? I don't know. I don't even know what I did here. Oh, this was like just fixing to-do items. I don't think there's anything specific in here. I mean, the fact that this has some of like my say actions and things like that in there, you know, aren't a big deal. So for anybody who's new to the channel, what you're looking at is the configuration for my bot. This is the command you run in the channel, whether or not it's enabled, whether or not you can run it while I'm streaming or not, the number of points it costs, and then an array of actions. And this is sort of like it will call these actions in order, and you've got arguments you're passing to that action, and then this arg map is basically the order you type stuff. So if you type alert, you know, purple, it's saying, well, the first thing you type after the command is going to get mapped to an argument named hue. And that's sort of how this bot has been designed, so it's not highly coupled to my setup. It's very, very modular in the sense of, let's just open up the modules directory. There's a bunch of modules that we've been creating, and each one of those introduces new actions into the bot. And so you can just configure everything and string them together and make your own commands however you want. We're working on a browser source that'll put stuff on the screen and things like that too. And the only time you should have to write code is really if you want to introduce a new action to the bot. All right, so let me just make a directory really quick. And then I'll just copy over my current config, oops, into examples. Okay, and then why is examples not showing up in there? Does my git ignore have it in there? No. Alright, I'm really confused now. There is an examples directory, git add examples. It has to be in my git ignore. What is going on? Is it in my... Why is that? Why is it not showing up in here? It's somewhere in a git ignore. Oh, wait a second. Because it's here. Because it's called ericbotdev.json, and it's really the one in the parent directory that I wanted ignored. Oh wait, why is it? Oh well. Committing sample configuration. Okay. There you go, Rockaboo. It's all you. So now there is a sample config git there that you can work with. Let me know what you do with it. Submit PRs. Shoot me a link to your stream. I'd love to check out what you do with it. All right, macro, where were we? My macro is not in this scope. Ooh. Macros is one of those things that I was struggling to figure out before. Hint. Macros 1. You need to add something special compared to a regular function call. If you're stuck, take a look at what's inside my macro. When you call a macro, you need to add something special compared to a regular... Oh, right. You'll let Aaron know. Yeah, he already forked it, though this does make it easier to see how your code works. What do you mean? You mean to just sort of like browse it after the fact and kind of like conceptualize how it all flows? Yeah. So, yeah, and especially if you're jumping in and out, and there's been some big refactors that have taken place too. So if you weren't around for that particular thing, then yeah, I can see how that gets hard. Okay, let's see. Have you added the macro use on your module import? Let's see. No. This one's really tricky. All right, good. You don't look at the stream, Rocker Boo, you just sort of listen along? All right, so I guess let's just hit the book real quick and let's see if we can find the section on macros, and that should make this make a lot more sense. Oh, you're redesigning the NeoVim website? Awesome. All right, so we've used them. Okay. Where's our macro use? So this doesn't even have information about the macro use thing, right? Okay. Oh, wait. That's macros 1. All right. Macros don't quite play the same rules as the rest of Rust in terms of what's available where. Unlike other things in Rust, the order of where you define a macro versus... I mean, that makes sense, because, I mean, macros would be taking place in, like, the preprocessor, so this makes a lot of sense. Oops. Let's just make sure that compiles. Sometimes it's the little stuff. You're like, that makes a lot of sense if you think about like C and things like that. All right, my macro in this scope cannot find it. And is that because we need to do like a macros, my macro? No. You need to do something special to the module to lift the macro. Oh. So, do we need to do a pub? Oh, macro export. That makes a lot of sense. So we need to do a macro export. I keep forgetting, like, you want to do things that are like parts of the language and not part of the macro sort of stanzas. Could not find my macros inside of. am I missing? I'm confused. So this one's already fixed. And this one is an example of what really hurts me in the Rust macros, that they cannot be namespace. Yeah, that seems weird to me. Like when it's down inside of a module like that, you would assume, and even with the export, that's just sort of weird that it like lifts it up out of its own namespace. Okay, so what is this having us do? Because this is already past. This is already. Let's look at the hint and see what it's asking us to do. You only need to add a single character to make this compile. The way macros are written, it wants to see something between each macro arm. So this is already passing. I'm guessing that it was supposed to be missing the character and that got added somewhere. All right, we are on to quiz number 4. Quiz number 4. Write a macro that passes the quiz, no hints. Oh no. We have to write our own macro. We are going to open up one of these for reference, because let's actually just split this. Okay, so first we need our macro rules. The worst dev, what's going on? What's going on? Thanks for the raid. How was the stream? What were you working on? All right, and what was the name of this? Oh, my macro.
Intruder alert. An unauthorized connection has been detected.
Rocker Boo's on it. We haven't got the bot sounds being triggered automatically. So Rocker Boo is the trigger right now. All right. So what is this macro? What's it want us to do? Oh, you're going through the Rustlings as well. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I did some Rust, not well, but enough where I could kind of get around months ago, but I've been away, so I've lost some of the knowledge. So we're kind of retesting it here with Rustlings, and it turns out I've forgotten a lot more than I thought I did. Okay, so macros is one thing I never wrote, so this is going to be interesting. So I remember how to do the arms, so we can kind of close this. What's it want us to do? My macro, if we pass it, world. Let's see. I want to just get an idea for what are you asking for? No hints. Of course not. Okay, so I think we have to create an arm, right? Right? I don't think I have descriptions on all of them yet. So that's the val. And so we should be able to look at val, right? And say like if val equals world, right? Oh no, we don't even need the, I'm like getting carried away here. We should be able to just do that. Ooh. And just do, no, we did need that. So we need to do, We need to do some string interpolation though, and we have not done that yet. So can we just do this? No. Alright, so let's go look at the book real quick. And interpolation. Oh, not there. Let's see. Printf. Format. And okay, we just use curly brackets. It's a macro, so we need this. Is that gonna work? Okay, so we compile world. Oh, because I reversed those. Oops. Hello. There we go. Wait a second. Got carried away with saving too fast. So how'd you do the worst dev? How'd you do on Rustlings? How far'd you make it? Oh, the bot is dead? Ooh. That's not good. We are gonna have to figure that out. Let's see. Built-in line 29. We got a seg fault. Let's see. Bot. Built-in. I was updating some stuff late last night, so... So I'm guessing... Alright, what did you type in chat? Because it looks like that was a help that failed, right? Let's fix the bot. We're like bouncing between Go and Rust. So there was a command that came through, right? Invalid memory address or nil pointer dereference build line 29. So we've got CNAME here. Config should exist. Commands should definitely exist. Is it because this didn't exist? Okay, let's do this then. So we're gonna say if let's double check it. So we're gonna get the command. Okay. We're gonna do this. We're gonna cut that out. If it exists, then we're going to return this. And then if not, we're just going to return nil. I don't want to like fill up the chat with messages when you're like getting help for commands that don't exist. Okay, that should fix it. That should hopefully fix it. We'll probably want to like refresh this and click around to him. Oh no, it would have reconnected to the WebSocket. All right. Let's see. Now we are on to move semantics. Can't borrow vec1 as mutable as it is not declared mutable. Okay, that sounds like an easy one to solve. All right. Let's see. Borrow of moved value vex 0. Move occurs because vex 0, which is not implement copy trait. So let's go look at this. Line 10 here. Okay, so we're creating this vector, and then it gets moved into here. So we want to let it borrow it. Glad you brought up the Rustlings project. Definitely going to try it out and see what blind spots it covers. Yeah, I think it's actually really, really awesome for that stuff. And I'll probably do it like a number of times too as I learn Rust, just because there's going to be areas of Rust you're not really going to touch. And then... Okay, so that is not what we wanted. Wait. Now I know I remember how to do this. Okay. It's being moved. Yep, we understood that, which means it gets dropped at the end of the fill vec, which means it can't use vec 0 again. Yep, understand that. Okay, so make another separate version of the data that's in vec 0 and pass that to fill vec instead. Make fill vec borrow its argument instead of taking ownership of it. Make fill vec mutably borrow its argument, which will need to be mutable. Right, so isn't it like to... Alright, I'm gonna pull up the book real quick just because I... Alright, references and borrowing. Okay, so this is, yeah, that's passing a reference. But we want to see borrowing. Those are mutable references. That's how we would solve using 3. All right. So I thought I was doing that. Right, because it wants to get the length of this. Expected struct vec found. Oh, okay. So that's because fill vec is getting a copy of vector and I'm returning it. And because we've passed vec 0 in here, we have moved it. So we would need to get our own copy of vec 0, pass that in, right? And this would make it pass. Wait, no. So this is one way we can make it pass. No. What? removed it. We can't. I'm confused here. So that did not solve it. All right, I'm trying to figure this out real quick. Okay, so there's a couple ways we can solve this, right? One makes the most sense to me, which is that we could actually just change fillVec to take a mutable vector, right? And then not return anything at all, right? And then pass in a reference to it. So that one's the kind of simplest thing to understand, but I'm trying to remember how we can do this part of it. So let's go here to the hints. So that was number 3. That one's easy. So make another separate version of the data that's in vec0 and pass that to fillVec, which is what I tried to do. Wait. So the number 2 is this, right? And then it would be and mute, right? Line 21. And then it doesn't really matter that we're returning that. Alright, I am all kinds of messing this up. Totally understand what's happening here. Totally understand how we can just pass a mutable reference to the function and have it fill the vector. All of that makes sense. This is the one that I'm confused by. We want to make our own copy, pass that, and what was the other one? Borrow its argument instead of taking ownership of it, right? And we can do that by doing this, right? Wait. Back is a reference, so data can't be borrowed mutably. So we would need mut, right? Alright, let's go back. Because it's number 1 that I really want to figure out here. If you don't, the parameter becomes the owner, and when the owner goes out of scope, it deletes the variable, so you need to borrow it. Right. So I know that there's like the 2 owned, right? But that's not what I'm looking for. Oh, oops, because I changed all this back. Remove this mute back 0. Thanks for the follow, AOD. Consider this. Oh, because I put the mute back in the wrong place. Thanks for all the help, AOD. Okay, so this was as simple as that to own thing to make our own copy of it. I completely overthought that. That was just as simple as doing the to owned. All right, move semantics number 3. All right, make me compile without adding new lines, just changing existing ones. No lines with multiple semicolons necessary. Okay. Can't borrow vec is mutable as it is not declared as mutable. On line 20. So right? Yep. Variable does not need to be mutable. So removing the borrow. Wait a second. Alright, I'm trying to figure out what this wants from us. What do you want from me? I cannot borrow vec as mutable as it is not declared as mutable. Well, in this case, we know we want that to be mutable. Expected type. Alright. Here we're going to pass a mutable reference. And oh, yeah. So here we could do a to vec to return it back, or we could change the return type. Cannot borrow as mutable. That's fine because we look at this. I'm almost starting to get the hang of it. All right, move semantics number 4. Expected value found macro vec on line 23. Fill vec no longer takes a vec I32 as an argument. So we'll refactor this code instead of having vec0 and creating the vector in function main, which we instead create it with in function and transfer the freshly created vector. Okay, so in this case, we're going to call so it left all of these alone. So in theory, though, we should just have vec1 equal. Oh no, because let's see, what are we doing here? So we know we want to call fill vec, and it's going to return us back the vector. but it's getting a copy of it from somewhere. So this should really be vec new, right? Yeah. So fillVec creates the vector and then returns it, and we're asking for a mutable reference to it so that we can push onto it. That makes sense. Move 4. Okay, mismatch types. On line 39. Wait, let's read what it says. Refactor this code so that instead of having vec0... No, that's the one we just did. Or error 1. Okay, this function refuses to generate text to be printed on a name tag if you pass it an empty string. It'd be nicer if it explained what the problem was instead of just sometimes returning none. The second test currently does not compile or pass, but it illustrates the behavior we would like this function to have. Rustlings hint errors 1. Okay. Alright, let's take a look at those tests. Okay, so I forget what the into function does. I need to add to my to-do list here, getting RLS to work too. Okay, added to my to-do list because I want to get that fixed as well. Okay, so all right, so this is an option tag, right? Yeah, an option is some and none. A result is okay, right? Yeah. Let's get a hint. Rustlings. Hint. Errors 1. Error is one of the variants of result, right? So what the second test is saying is that the generate should return a result instead of an option. Right. So generate name tag. Right. Okay, so we need okay, and we need error. And this would be empty names aren't allowed. And then we need to define this as a result string error, right? Or is it error? Not a type. Now, what am I missing here? Yeah, I know we need to fix that later. I thought that was how you did the result. Let's go look at the book real quick. Result. Right, so this is our match statement. I want to see like returning our error. Oh, wait. It's that simple, isn't it? This is supposed to just be string because that's what we're returning our error to be. Nope. Mismatch type. Oh. expected lifetime parameter. Oh wait, static. You know what? Let's just go this route rather than dealing with lifetimes, which I am still very confused by. We're just going to say toString on this. And then this is going to be our failing test because this still wants. Ooh, failed test. Explain why generate fails. Panicked at assertion left equals right. Oh. So we want name. Name was empty. It must be non-empty, period. Why did that return error? Oh, no, this is supposed to be, yeah, that's supposed to be okay. Ah. I got ahead of myself. All right, let's see. Errors 2. Cannot multiply integer to standard result I32 standard parse. Okay. Oh, we got a huge intro here. Let's read it. Say we're writing a game where you can buy items with tokens. All items. Let's see. Wait. All items cost 5 tokens. And whenever you purchase items, there is a processing fee of 1 token. A player of the game will type in how many items they want to buy, and the total cost function will calculate the total number of tokens. Since the player typed in the quantity, though, we get it as a string, and they might have typed anything, not just numbers. Right now, this function isn't handling the error case at all, and isn't handling the success case properly either. What we want to do is if we call the parse function on a string that is not a number, that function will return a parse int error. And in the case we want to immediately return that error from our function and not try to multiply and add. There are at least 2 ways to implement this, and both are correct, but one is a lot shorter. Okay, so it says we can look at the hints and it'll give us both ways. So let's get an idea here. What our 2 different ways of doing this are. Errors 2. Okay. So one way to handle it is using a match statement. Okay. So there's a question mark operator that does pretty much what you would make that match statement do for you. Oh, right, yeah. Okay, so I remember this. So if we come here and we add a question mark here, then if this returns back a parse int error, then it will just return it for us. Just sort of forwards it up the chain, which is freaking beautiful. I love that about Rust. All right. The question mark operator can only be used in a function that returns a result, right? Or option, or another type that implements standops try. Okay. So on line 15, what do we got going on here? Cannot use the question mark operator in a function that returns nothing. Or what's total cost? This is a program that is trying to use a completed version of the total cost function from the previous exercise. It's not working though. Why not? What should we fix? It's returning a... Total cost is returning a result though. Oh, right, because main does not. Okay, so in this case, it's a dot. There's a function for this. The power of the monad. Now I'm trying to remember the function to get the inner value. Unwrap. Unwrap. That's it. It's like it's... Which is bad. We probably shouldn't do that, but you know. Okay, what do we got going on? Ooh, this is a bigger error exercise than the previous ones. We can do it. All right, edit the read and validate function only. Don't create any errors that do not already exist. So many things could go wrong. Reading from standard in could produce an IO error. Parsing the input could produce a num parsent error. Validating the input could produce a creation error. How can we lump these errors into one general error that is the type that goes where the question marks are? And how do we return that type from the body of read and validate? Okay. So my guess is that we're going to come here and we're going to return like our own error type. And then we're going to enum it. Right? That's going to be my guess. Let's see what the hint says. Just to make sure.
Catastrophic failure detected. Evacuation protocol has been initiated. Abandon ship. SOS. Abandon ship.
Oh, I have the bot open in two places. Yeah, one is included as a browser source, and the other one is was open. What's going on, McCann?
Maybe technology's not your strong suit. Perhaps a career in professional sandwich artistry?
That may be a good idea. I make a pretty mean sandwich, and I am not doing so well with the rust, so... Alright, so... Wait, which one is this? Oh, hint... Error SN. Okay. First hint, to figure out what type should go where is take a look at the test helper function test with str since it returns whatever read and validate returns. And wait, take a look at test with str. Oh. So we've got a box dine error. Okay, so we're not creating our own error type. So this is a box dine error, right? Oh, error. You're trying to feel productive? Me too. I got my new Windows box set up over here, like installed and built for when I happen to need Windows for something. And now I really wanted to start on the GStreamer stuff, and then I realized I'm probably pretty rusty with Rust, and so I should do this. And so I don't know whether to call this productive or not. All right, so expected I64. Okay, so then we should be able to do this, right? Expected result positive, blah, blah, because of return answer. So I guess this needs to be an okay. Wait a second. I certainly don't feel productive, but I'm learning things, so that is type of productivity. I guess I could say the same. I'm getting up to speed on Rust. Alright, what's going on here? I'm confused. Mismatched types, line 32, expected struct positive non-zero integer, found enum standard result. Isn't that what is supposed to be being returned? Oh. We were missing it there too. Okay, now we've got some failing tests. Test IO error failed. Uh-oh. Let's see. Test IO error standard out. Okay, I am so confused. Okay, so we solved that. If we want to return a result from the read and validate for its success case, we'll have to rewrap a value. We already did that. Results must be used. That is, you'll get a warning if you don't handle a result that you get in your function. Okay. So all of that should be fine. Our issue here is... Uh-oh. So we're trying to... I guess we are supposed to... I guess we're supposed to do a match here. Oh. I only vaguely remember how to do this. Yeah. So... Wait. What am I doing with all these parentheses? Alright, answer. Okay. Then we want to... Right? This the uh-oh thing. I think this is what it wants. Uh-oh. Expected. Now I'm confused. Test IO error. So are we supposed to trap all of them? Okay, so test non-positive, test not num. Test positive non-integer. So test positive non-zero integer create. No, it's test IO error. Hmm. So where is this failing? No, so it's actually returning the same error that we want. This is its own implementation. It's returning the error for the broken pipe. Its own error is uh-oh, so we're not supposed to be doing this. We're supposed to be rewrapping answer. And in this case, why does this not work? We get cannot parse integer from empty string. Hmm. So we're having this read from our broken type, which should return back an error. And it does, so our issue is the string message on our error is not matching. But it matches for everything else. Is it because we're not doing anything with this? Is that our issue here? Yep. Okay. That one was actually really hard. I didn't catch that we had this other function call here that could potentially fail. Well, now we're on to options. Let's see. Just a second, just responding to somebody. All right. Now back to work. Option 1. Make me compile. Okay. Says expected enum standard option on line 12. Print number. Oh, it wants an option, so it should be sum, right? How did they not make one of these examples be sum 41? Am I showing my age, or does anybody else remember that band? Alright, expected. Maybe they listen to good music. Nice. You know what's funny is I don't listen to a ton of EDM stuff. I mean, I have, in my history growing up in Tampa and stuff like that. I like it. It works really well for background music for streams and stuff like that. But, typically I play all kinds of other stuff. I'm just not allowed to. All right. Line 21. Expected enum standard option found U16. Oh, okay. Because numbers is an array of options. So we need to make this sum. What's going on, Sanjay? Or Sanjay? Sanjay? Remove this mute. Oh, okay, because we are... Are we not mutating it? Variable does not need to be mutable. I'm doing pretty good myself. Just trying to pick up some more Rust a bit. Use of possibly uninitialized numbers. I mean... Interesting. So how do we create this array when we don't have the values yet? Because in this case, we're iterating over them. We're setting the exact values. I mean, I guess we could just do... But I don't feel like that's the right way to do this. What's up with Golang? So this is Rust right now. I typically do a lot of Go, but I have a new project that I'm working on that has to interoperate with C and C++ quite a bit because we are going to be messing with GStreamer, which allows us to create like these multimedia pipelines, because I'm going to be doing some stuff like taking in RTMP feeds and videos as like multiple inputs and creating like a mixer in the middle so that we can start like enabling or disabling the individual streams and then have them go out somewhere. So you could think of like multiple RTMP feeds coming in and then Twitch as one output, and you might switch between those streams. And I want to build all that. FFmpeg, GStreamer, all of the things you would want to use to do all of that sort of multimedia processing is written in Go, or is written in C++ and C. So okay, expected. Nope. Oh, because there's supposed to be options. There's got to be a quick way to initialize these. Let's go look at the arrays. You remember me. The name sounds familiar. I know you from Twitch, I'm assuming. That's a tuple. Where's the arrays? All right, where do we initialize it? Oh, you're from the streaming field. So we have to initialize each individual index. Oh, no. Okay, so we can give it one value here. The array named A will contain 5 elements that will all be set to the value 3. Okay. Are you going to be hanging out when we start working on all of this, Sanjay? When I start working on all the GStreamer stuff? So we should be able to do... Right, like a sum 0. Does that work? Well, that's not going to work, but... Awesome. I could use any and all of the help I can get. Comparison operators cannot be... Wait, what? This is like one of those like little trickier things. Let's look at the hint really quick. Is some, is none, unwrap, blah, blah, blah. There are no sensible defaults for the value of an array. The values need to be filled before use. Well, yeah, we figured that part out. I'm just trying to think of what the right syntax of this is. We know we have 5 of them. But how do I just... Can I do... No. What am I missing here? There has to be like a shortcut to this, right? Because I know I could do let numbers equal, you know, 0 and 5, right? So how am I doing this one? This is the second time that I came here. Can you quickly tell what this project app is about? Just curious. So what I'm currently working on is just going through these rustling exercises, and they're just like little challenges. So it's just a directory of different things demonstrating different features of the Rust programming language, and it sort of provides you like a broken piece of code, and then you have to leverage your knowledge of Rust to fix it. And because I've only done a little bit of Rust and it's been a little while, I'm just trying to brush up on it again. And so I'm going through Rustlings a bit because all of the stuff I do for the streaming thing will be in Rust. So this isn't actually building anything yet. I will hopefully start building stuff tomorrow, if not Monday. And but definitely next week I'll be working on the Rust GStreamer stuff. I just trying to brush up on Rust this weekend. I figured why not do it live and get some help from all of you. Yeah, not today. We're not building anything yet, but I have been building a pretty cool Twitch bot in Go on stream, and I will be starting on the GStreamer stuff next week. This is just me trying to pick up Rust a little better. All right. Why Rust? Because I don't want to write it in C or C++. And as far as interoperability with C or C++ goes, especially with zero cost, Rust is really the way to go. It's really expensive to keep calling out to C and Go. And FFmpeg and GStreamer, which are the libraries that I would be using to do this, both have, C and C++ libraries. Go can call into C, but it's very expensive. It's very expensive for it to switch into Go, or to switch between the two of them. So you end up writing a lot of stuff in C or C++ anyway, and then making that one individual call. There's a bunch of good blog posts on CGO and kind of the performance issues. I know there's a way to initialize this. What am I missing? So we know we can do this. So what am I missing with? Let's go look at the option type. Equals none. Equals some. Okay. So this is if we're assigning. Oh, can I do that? Is that what that's going to look like? Is this like a equals sum? Oh, none? 5? Does that work the way I think it does? Consider changing this to mutable numbers. Like, it just yelled at us earlier that it didn't need to be mutable. Okay, so this is what I was looking for. It just took me a little while to arrive there. All right. Line 9. Value equals optional value. Make this an if-let statement whose value is some type. Whoa. Oops. Let's see. So this is not what I thought it was. Options line 22. To make this a while statement. So while let's see. All right, let's get a hint. Option 2. Option 2. Option 2. Options 2. Option 2. Oh, not watch. Hint. Alright, so this is the one we want. I'll let some equal optional. Okay. So that's how we kind of, because pop is going to give us some or none. It's going to give us an option. Not found in this scope. What? Oh, while let some. I am sure I'm going to forget that a lot. Cannot be formatted with a default formatter. Okay, so this is the option that it's saying it can't be. And what was the other thing it was complaining about? It's still an option. Let optional value is some string rustlings, okay. Let value. Is that what that's supposed to be? If let statement whose value is some type. Should be some, right? Okay, so now we've got this new vector. We're pushing a number onto here. Option I cannot be formatted. What am I missing here? It's always silly stuff Oh, so we've got like a double wrap thing. So we need to unwrap this like twice. Yeah. Because the The vector itself, the values contained within the vector are themselves options, but pop returns an option. That was confusing for a second there. Oh yeah, those are both good options too. Yeah, I suppose we could have done an unwrap here too, right? We could have changed that. But I think the clue was sort of here. It was saying you can stack option T's. Okay, next result. Make this test pass. Okay, test creation. Panicked that assertion failed. Left equals right. Error negative. Oh, we got okay positive non-zero integer. Okay, so if we give it a negative number, so we need to, wait a second. Oh, it is an I, it's not unsigned. So, if val is less than, oh no, non-zero is less than or equal to 0, then we'll return back, I guess, there, right? And what error does it want? Oh, it wants a creation error negative. Oh, we're supposed to return a 0 too. So we need return back our 0, 1. We should probably look at select statements here too. Ooh, what did I mess up? Oh, typo. I wonder if I should try and make it through this whole thing this weekend and maybe stream a little bit later tonight or tomorrow and try and make it through all of these. Alright. Consider comparing them. Clippy. The Clippy tool is a collection of lints to analyze your code so you can catch common mistakes and improve your Rust code. For these exercises, the code will fail to compile when there are Clippy warnings. Check Clippy's suggestions from the output to solve the exercise. Okay. You miss Clippy? Why don't you have Clippy? Consider comparing them within some error. So, wait. Strict comparison of F32 or F64. Oh, you're talking about Microsoft's Clippy. All right, so I'm trying to understand what this is asking for here. It's right. Okay, so guess this is saying what we really want is y minus x, or x minus. Well, no, oh, we just want to know if they're equal, so it doesn't matter which order. So I'm gonna say x minus y absolute is greater than I don't know. I guess this, in this case, yeah. Well, it's already 4 o'clock here. And I have not eaten at all today. So I may not go too much longer. Thanks so much for the follow, the Nerdivert. Alright, Clippy 2. For loop over option, which is an option, this is more readably written as an if-let statement. What are you trying to tell me here? For loop over option, okay. So that's the option. For x in option. So it's saying like if let result equal, right? No, I'm confused. Okay, so we have a result, which is just an integer. Then we have an option which holds 12 in it. And for x in option, well, option's only going to hold one thing. So would that be like a if let x sum x equal option? Is this what it's saying? Result plus equals x? Haha! Look at that! We're gonna have to start doing some box stuff. Alright, at compile time, Rust needs to know how much space a type takes up. This becomes problematic for recursive types where a value can have as part of itself another value of the same type. To get around the issue, we can use a box, a smart pointer used to store data on the heap, which also allows us to wrap a recursive type. The recursive type we're implementing in this exercise is the cons list, a data structure frequently found in functional programming languages. Each item in a cons list contains 2 elements, the value of the current item and the next list item. The last item is a value called nil. Use a box in the enum definition to make the code compile. Create both empty and non-empty cons lists by replacing unimplemented. The test should not be changed. What on... Alright, I'm trying to understand what this is asking me to create. So we're going to be using a box. And 2 elements. The value of the current item. Okay, and that's this item and the next item. Okay. So create an empty list. We should be able to just return back a cons nil, right? Oh, it's a list. No. Okay. So this would be a box. Oops. Right. Okay, so now we just have to fix the other one. So this is going to create a non-empty list. So then we just need to create, a list cons. And then we would give it our number, which let's just call it 5, I don't know. And then a list nil, right? Ooh. Oh, because we need to put it in a box. Wait, that's not right. Comparison operators cannot be chained. What's that? Constructor is not visible here to do to private fields. Wait. I can never remember how to do this. Ah! Let's go see if we can find an example. Box. Oh, it's box new. Right? Yeah. Oh, non-empty list failed. Create empty list. Left, nil, right. Oops. Because I messed up the wrong thing. List, nil. Okay. Alright, I think this might be a pretty good starting point. I am starting to get pretty hungry. I didn't eat breakfast or lunch, and it is now almost dinner time. Did anybody have any questions or want me to show off anything in both Rust or Go before I call it quits for the day? I may get back on later this evening. If not, maybe I'll stream some more tomorrow. Either trying to finish up through the Rustlings stuff or maybe even just starting to mess around with the GStreamer stuff. All right, awesome, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I don't typically stream on weekends, so I won't make any guarantees, but I'll catch you all later this weekend if I get back on, or if not, I always stream Monday between 1 and 4 Eastern. Thanks a lot. Catch you guys later. Oh, yeah. Rocker Boo's on it. Thanks for the follow, Linux.